So very recently I had an illness, and I really feel like it was a bit of a consciousness cleanse coming out physically as well as actually having a virus. So I thought I'd just talk you through this in case it's something either you may be experiencing or in case it comes up in the future. So there was definitely, to give you some context, there was definitely viruses going around. I most definitely had a physical illness. And in the lead up to this, I was feeling like I really needed more of an extended break, and my body was telling me as much, but it just wasn't coming. So there was a part of me thinking, maybe my body just decided, okay, enough, like you need to rest, and this is the way that's going to happen, then this is what we'll do. My guides a couple of weeks before had told me that I would be going through a transformational belief change, which sounded a bit grand, but it was going to be over the next couple of months, and I thought, okay, I don't know how this is going to come about, but fine. And then I had a soul healing session, and then a couple of days after that, the illness started. And so the illness itself was kind of temperature, vomiting, rash, but what came alongside it, which was the piece where it really felt like actually aspects of my conscious experience were being processed, or subconscious, were the fact that as it started to happen, I was feeling really weird. I was feeling very weird emotionally and mentally. So kind of quite emotional, quite churned up. And then in the nighttime, I was having very strong experiences where it almost felt like there were heat lamps on me. So I was kind of going through the waves of the nausea, but then also feeling this kind of intensity of heat that wasn't coming from within my body, but there was this sort of release. So it almost felt like I was falling backwards, as there was this kind of letting go process going on at the same time. So it really felt like there was this job lot of unprocessed experience, or experience that was ready to be released on a soul level, that was then starting to come through and piggyback on this physical experience, that actually there was so much releasing at once. It was creating a lot of heat and a lot of discomfort. And I was seeing kind of flashes of memories, either I was in it or I was witnessing it, coming up as I, was half asleep in the middle of the night. And it wasn't kind of conscious memories, it was definitely, for me, it was past life in that situation. I was also in the daytime then dealing with this really intense feeling of disgust for the whole of humanity and for being human myself. And I just thought, okay, this is very odd, because normally I don't feel like this. Normally I feel very hopeful. So that, again, was an indicator of, okay, there's something very deep, something very old that's kind of pushing itself up here to be released. And then I had this sore throat, and it was really strong to the point where I couldn't swallow. And when I tuned into that area, the energy that I saw there was me screaming. And anything preceding in the week before, there was nothing where I'd been feeling that kind of intensity of emotion. So again, I had this sense of something past, something older coming up and was pushing out and through those physical symptoms. So I did get some help with it in the middle of it, just to try and process some of those emotions, because I was worked with body code, and I thought, what on earth is this? So I got some release that way, but it was really doing its own thing, and a lot of it was kind of staying with it and witnessing it, and allowing it to release. So if you go through something similar, you might come across those sort of similar symptoms where actually, there's this mismatch between how you were feeling before and how you're feeling in the moment, that something is kind of arising that isn't in your conscious awareness, and there's a kind of a discomfort around it. That might be some of those symptoms. And then I think, heat can be quite classic in terms of if something is trying to expel very quickly, that can generate heat, and then you start to get hot. Always seek help from medical professionals. I went to the doctors, I had a virus, I was told to rest. But there was just this kind of marriage of these two experiences going on at the same time. So just being patient with yourself and being curious. Not all of it you might not have the same level of clarity of what's going on, but it's just being interested, asking yourself what's present, and just going gently, really, because sometimes it really can manifest physically.